Hello, it's Ryan from 2minutetennis.net, and in this video, I'm going to show you what you can learn from this awesome point between USC and USF men's college tennis. Now, this video is courtesy of Matt Lynn on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to his awesome channel. I've put his link in the description below. Now, first, let's watch this point in its entirety, and then we'll diagram it. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is the toss. Absolutely love this toss from this player. It's quite a low toss, which is a good thing, but let's actually measure this. What I like to do is start a timer when the ball is at the top of the player's head. So I like to just wait until the ball is at the top of the head, start a timer, and from there, I like the player to hit the serve between 0.55 and 0.9 seconds. That's my range of acceptability, if you will. So let's check it out. He hits the ball at 0.66 seconds. Love it. Well within that range. If you toss low, it gives you less time to swing, which is a good thing because it creates the environment where you got to swing fast. So it's a nice, easy way to build speed on your serve. But also, it actually gives you more time to hit the ball. See, a lot of players think that tossing way up into the air is a good thing, but realize when it drops, it's accelerating. So it's actually harder to time. So by tossing lower, he's giving himself less time to swing, but actually giving himself more time to hit the ball because the ball's basically stationary as he's hitting it. It drops maybe 4 or 5 inches, but it's much better than having it drop 6 feet and having to time that drop. So toss low so that you give yourself less time to swing. It instantly improves the speed of your serve, but then it also gives you more time to hit the ball, so it's easier to time. Now, at this exact moment, when the opponent is hitting the serve, it's really important that the returner is split-stepping, and specifically when the ball is being struck by your opponent. So let's kind of put yourself in this person's situation here. When you're returning serve, you want to be in the air as your opponent is striking the serve. This is what you see all the pros do. Novak Djokovic, Andre Agassi from 20 years ago, it doesn't matter. Every single pro is in the air as the opponent strikes the ball on the serve. No different than if you're at the net or just rallying back and forth. You want to be in the air as the opponent hits. And we can see that. Here is the opponent taking off. So watch this. He jumps in the air as the ball is being hit, and then he lands after the serve is hit. So you want to be in the air as your opponent hits the ball because it synchronizes your brain with when your feet hit the ground, makes you so much faster when you react to where the ball's going to then explode in any direction to get that ball. Really nice little short, compact motion to return the serve. I know it was a much shorter return than he wanted, but he did a good job of getting that first serve back into play. Now, the server steps inside the court and hits a good forehand, but immediately starts moving back. Now, I'm not sure why, but I also don't have the context here to say that that's wrong. Maybe he was struggling with his forehand. Maybe, the previous 6 points, he was framing forehands and was just messing up, and it just wasn't in his best interest to try to do a lot with that forehand. So he must have felt more comfortable to go inside the court and then retreat. But here, he gets another short ball, and you can see this ball landing in front of the service line. And he gets this backhand, and he decides to come forward. One thing here on the backhand, you look at this position right here. Well, we'll take it to the next one. Right here. This is a common position that Novak Djokovic is in. This is called the left side of the letter V. I drew the yellow letter V here, and the backhand is in the left side of the letter V. As a right-hander, if as you swing up, you keep the racket to the left of your hands, the racket actually will then pass in over your head. And that's what you see Novak do all the time. It's a great way to make sure that there's not a lot of wrist play on your backhand and you're super consistent from it. You look at Novak, I would say 70 to 80% of his backhands, he hits this way where the racket stays to the left of his hands as he follows through. He approaches to the opponent's backhand, and then here we can check out the split step timing again. Remember, you want to be in the air as your opponent hits, or even just taking off as your opponent hits, and then landing the split step after they hit. So let's check it out. So here's the backhand being struck, and right there, all you have to do is notice the opponent. He's not split stepping. You do not want to be landing your split step, which my definition of the split step, let's look at the feet here. My definition is that move right there where the feet land the split step. You don't want to be doing that as your opponent hits. That's way too early. You want to be doing it after they hit. And the reason is because there's a delay in the reaction time. Your brain hasn't processed. Your eyes haven't just processed what it's seeing yet. So what happens is when you split step after your opponent hits, finally you synchronize your head with your feet, and when you land, you can then explode in any direction, even back if the ball is a lob over your head. So the opponent hits a nice low ball. Really love this. And by the way, when you hit a low ball to your opponent's feet, watch the player in yellow. Watch how far behind the baseline he is, but he immediately starts moving forward. So smart. Absolutely love that play. When you hit the ball to your opponent's feet, you want to move forward. Now, just a few days ago, I made a video in this exact situation. I said, when you have a low ball, when you're coming forward, it's a half volley or it's a low volley, you don't want to hit cross court if you can help it. You want to shy away from hitting the ball cross court. And the reason is this: low balls, obviously, have to go up off your racket. And so it's going to be very hard to end the point making the ball go up off your racket. So if he hits this ball cross court like this, he's then inviting the opponent to come over here and then pass him. Sorry, I didn't mean to put that there. And then pass him down the line. He's inviting the opponent to run over and then pass down the line while this player's momentum kind of pulls him over and then finally gets back. So what you're better off doing in this situation is what's called HTL. It's an acronym. Hold the line. When you have a low ball, you're better off keeping the ball in front of you. That means when you move, you only have to move to here. If he hits this ball cross court, then he has to move over to here, right, to bisect where the opponent can hit the ball. And it takes too long and it makes it too easy to get passed down the line. So when you have a low ball, it's good to keep the ball in front of you and kind of live to see another day and try to win the point on a subsequent shot. That's exactly what he does here. He keeps the ball in front of him. By the way, let's check out this half volley technique. Notice he volleys up on this ball. He doesn't chop this ball. So good. Absolutely love that. So he puts very little spin on the ball, keeps the ball actually from floating out and going out too far. It actually helps bring the ball back down. And then he quick moves into play. Now the opponent, remember, the opponent moved in, hoping that he would get a weak ball, but the volleyer, half volleyer, didn't hit a weak ball. Hit a nice strong volley, nice and deep, right to the opponent's backhand. You can see where he's standing. He's bisecting the down the line and cross court shots, and then it's a missed passing shot. Really love that sequence where he took the half volley down the line or basically kept it on his side of the court, we'll say. It wasn't super close to the line, but he did keep it in front of him, and then got into position, great position to win that point. All right, let's watch this point 2 or 3 times in its entirety and just try to look for some of the things that we talked about during the analysis. So if you copy some of this single strategy and footwork in your own game, there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.